We are about to head out on a week-long camping road trip, so I am trying to wind as much yarn as I can to bring on this trip, and I will be working on this trip too, so we're kind of doing like a little digital nomad week. But as you know, I'm kind of in the crunch time of my business and the busy season, so I don't want to skip out on this trip, but I also want to make sure I get some of the things done that I need to do. If you're new here, hi, I'm Shireen, and I live in a small mountain town in Colorado. I'm fully self-employed and have a small business selling handmade knit beanies and adventure goods with a focus on ethical and sustainable materials. I also give back to environmental nonprofits and other organizations supporting women's rights and LGBTQIA+ rights because I want to use my business to help bring awareness to these issues. I'm also in a transition phase in my business, and I'll be hosting my first creative business retreat to Iceland in January, and I'm building an online community space for creatives and small business owners and hope that by sharing my business journey, you feel less alone on yours and we can learn and grow together. Ready to go? Success!
A form of manipulation?
Are you waiting for me to get up? To the desert. We're here camping with some friends. We're gonna be doing some mountain biking. I brought a ton of knitting with me and I have my computer to get some stuff done. I just got another booking for the Iceland trip, so now there's only 4 spots left. I can't believe it. I'm so excited. It's gonna be a really fun week. For me? We did a bunch of biking this morning, which was super fun, but I'm just taking a little siesta to relax. It's the weekend, so I'm trying not to do much work yet, but I did knit 2 hats on the way here. I haven't made myself a hat in a while, so I did that, and I actually didn't pack a beanie for myself. I was like, Shireen, make one for yourself. It's okay. And it's been getting cold at night, so I did that. Yeah, I don't know, just enjoying reading my book, relaxing. We're in a really beautiful spot. We do this every year. We call it Fruitoween, and in about an hour, all the kids that are in the campground, it's like tradition, everyone walks around and does some trick-or-treating, and then we bike in costumes, so it's super fun. I've been putting so much pressure on myself to get my stuff done, especially since the busy season is here. So after a really fun weekend of biking and camping with friends, we stayed at a hotel to just get cleaned up, and then I got to working on my Monday tasks. But because we're on the road, I also needed to just figure out what I needed to do and what I could just let go of. Alright, I got my weekly reflections, bookkeeping, and all of that stuff done this morning at the cafe, but we're on like a 5-hour drive right now to our next destination where we'll be camping for the rest of the week. To our other camp. It's among all these red rocks. It's so gorgeous. So we're just gonna be posting up here and making this home for the next few days. I got a lot of knitting done on the drive. I'll show you in a bit, but I'm gonna set up the tent before it gets dark and then I'll show you what I've made. already getting dark, so I don't think you'll be able to see all of the stuff that I made if I try to show it to you now, but I'll show it to you tomorrow. We're just gonna have some dinner and relax, and then tomorrow we'll wake up in this beautiful spot. I have plans to go to a coffee shop tomorrow to do a little bit more computer stuff and to just keep knitting, but so far it's just been such a fun road trip. The digital nomad thing is definitely a different experience. I'm feeling like I have to adjust how I work and just like the amount of time that I'm spending doing different things, but it's been really fun, so I hope you're having fun too. Feeling very cozy with our rumple blanket and this puffy jacket, but I think today we're gonna do a little walk in these beautiful red rocks. We're in this canyon and it's so pretty, but it is cold, and then I do have some computer work to do, so we're probably gonna run into town and find a coffee shop or go back to our friend's house. But this camp spot is so awesome. We're kind of tucked away in these trees and right by the rocks, so it's very cozy. But I'll show you all the things I've knit in a little bit. I'm not ready to get out of my cozy spot yet. Now that it's the busiest season for my business, I've been struggling a lot with feeling like I'm not doing enough. Whether it's not getting enough work done and checking enough things off of my to-do list, or working too much and not taking care of myself and not resting enough, I feel like I haven't been able to get in my flow. And being a digital nomad this week really opened my eyes to what I actually need to be doing and what I don't. And partly because my big selling season for the business is seasonal, I think my priorities are just shifting now, and I haven't quite caught up with that yet. And because there's been a lot of new things happening in my business, like the Iceland trip and marketing for that, I feel like I'm letting a lot of other things fall through the cracks. But really, it's more that now that the season has shifted, I just need to reframe my priorities right now and to figure out what that looks like for the rest of the year. What a beautiful hike. This place feels like you're on another planet and it's so pretty. But we're back at the camp, and I just wanted to show you what I've knit so far. I made myself a hat because I haven't made one for me yet this season, and this is the winter light beanie. I still have to put a tag on it. I never actually just make one for myself. All of the hats that I have are like the samples and stuff, so very special. But guess how many I've made so far? This is what I've knit so far. I've made 7 hats so far, and my goal I think is to make 24. So I have a ways to go, but I've been doing a lot of computer work so far on this part of the trip. But I brought a whole bag of yarn, so I feel like I think I can make it happen. And a lot of this is just making sure I have Ohana stocked. I am stocking up for a big market that I have in December, and then I'll probably do like a winter collection for my website, and then restock some of like the favorites that sold out really quickly on the website too. But yeah, so I'm feeling pretty good about this, especially like this digital nomad thing, like traveling around and trying to enjoy the time out in the desert too. I'm like equally trying to get some work done, but also like enjoy myself. So, but yeah, if I can finish knitting all of the yarn that I brought though, I will be very happy. So let's see if I can make that happen. Good morning. It's been so nice just waking up at the camp. It's so beautiful here. I've probably already said it 1,000 times, but I've been thinking so much about the concept of the pause. I even wrote about it in my newsletter yesterday, but basically it's one of those things where when you're making a big change, or if you're in a state of transformation or realignment or whatever, it's so important to remember to pause and to let the transformation happen. Because a lot of the time I think we're like, oh my gosh, I need to continue working at the pace that I've been. I need to, keep pushing and growing and whatever. But if you're gonna grow, you need to let the transformation happen. It's kind of like, it's so cliche, but it's kind of like the concept of a caterpillar turning into a butterfly. It has to go through the goop in order to emerge from the chrysalis and be a butterfly. So I've been thinking about that so much, especially on this trip. Like, I've kind of realized being this like digital nomad this week, where I'm not in my regular routine. I still have to get work done, but I'm also able to just be out of my bubble. There's actually a lot less that I need to do in the business. And I think for a lot of people, there are all these things on our to-do list that actually don't need to be done, or they're big picture things that aren't necessarily part of our big goals right now, but we keep doing them because we think we should be. So I don't know. I think for me, I've been prioritizing things like my community and getting my Iceland trip off the ground. And of course, I still need to make sure I have enough hats to stock my local shops and to stock this big market that I signed up for. But all of the other tasks, all of these other things are extra. And from a week to week standpoint, I'm like, do I have to be in my inbox as much as I am? No. And I'd set these boundaries for myself around something like that. But I then fall into the trap of just checking my email, reading through all these newsletters, and I'm like, I don't need to spend time doing this every day. So anyway, think about what those things are for you, because I don't know, being on the road right now, like camping all week and trying to work when I can, it's really made me have to prioritize, like, what tasks do I actually need to get done that are going to, I don't want to say move the needle, because that's not necessarily what it is, but that are things that I've intended on doing. So, just thoughts for the morning. Heading into town, meeting up with my friend who lives there. We're gonna do a little coffee walk and then do some work together. Every living thing, be to me a mother, both hands on the wheel, show me faded color, fields of chamomile, all at once in a dream, we are together. You could call it a vision or a tether. Yeah, wow. All at once I can see it put back together. You could call it a vision or a tether. Take me to the jungle, teach me tiger law, read to me a poem, sing to you a song. We're leaving this camp today. We're moving to a different camp. We have this overnight bike race that we're doing on Saturday, but it's been so nice being here, and it's just beautiful, as you've seen. I feel like I, of course, have not gotten as much work done as I've been intending to, but at the same time, it's like I've realized what is actually really a priority for my work right now and what is okay to let go of. It's November 1st, so yesterday was the first Halloween that I haven't dressed up in a long time, but we're on the road. I've been thinking a lot about, the thinning of the veil and learning what to let go of, like the shadow parts of yourself and what those things are and how you can shed those layers. I don't know if you've thought about that ever, but it's something I'm really into, and just, it's been such a journey of self-reflection this year, doing all of these different trips and I don't know, we've traveled a lot this year actually and done a lot of this type of thing, and it's really made me slow down with my work pace. I think so far this year I've taken 6 different weeks off. There's just so much noise out there about being an entrepreneur, being a small business owner, the measures of success, the milestones that we should be hitting, the numbers we should be striving for, and you can be successful and not do that too. So I'm here to tell you, you can. And it did take a lot of hard work to get to this point where I can really pull back, because I did have several years where I was grinding hard or like working late, but never in my small business did it compare to when I was working 80 hours a week at my restaurant job and getting paid very little. So anyway, more morning reflections for you, but we're breaking down the camp now, so I will talk to you in a little bit.
All at once in a dream, we are together. You could call it a vision or a tether.
And as a total aside, if you're ever curious about the camping gear or that kind of thing that I use, I've had most of this stuff for like years and years and years. Like our tent, I think, is over 10 years old. But I have all of that linked as gear guides down in the description. I'll link some of the individual items too, but I also have a couple of gear guides that just has a list of all of the different things. So if you're ever interested, check it out below.
You could call it a vision. You could call it a vision.
We have made it to camp, we've set up. There's a lot of us here. We have 2 teams, but we're all friends from Steamboat, so it's nice just to meet up with everyone. This is our camp, but I'm at 10 hats now. And it's funny, I've been kind of struggling because I've been working this week, and all of the things I've been talking about lately have been about the pause and the transformation and finding alignment, which is something I'm constantly striving for. So it feels funny for me that I'm also like working while on this trip, but at the same time it's like, it's okay to do that. It's okay to have times of hustle. It's okay to need to check things off the list too. But I think at the end of the day, it's also just finding that flow and allowing yourself to rest and pause too. And you can do both. It doesn't have to be one or the other. And this week has been a really good lesson in that. Oh, I bit my lip and it's just been bleeding. So if you feel like you're in the stage where you are needing to hustle and grind, don't feel guilty. I think that's a part of it too. Like I find myself feeling guilty when I'm in a stage of needing to work a lot or work harder in different parts of the season, but that's part of it too. So a big part of why this brings a lot of guilt in me is because I came from a place of really deep burnout that took years for me to get over. And after that, I went through a really hard stage of grief when I lost 3 really important people in my life in a very short period of time. And I think after that, my perspective just shifted so much, and I threw myself into this self-discovery, healing, and phase of alignment for my business. So for context, that's kind of why it has brought so much guilt in me to feel like I need to be in this stage of hustle. Race day has started. It is basically a 25-hour race because it's daylight savings. But Rob just went in that blueberry outfit. Obviously, we're very serious, but we have some time. I'm doing a lap for the race. I got 2 people inquire about corporate orders for beanies. So 50 beanies each. I don't know if I'll be able to accommodate both orders, but I want to at least entertain how I can do that. And get this, one of my friends that's here, she's having a baby in January, and she was like, I'm trying to find something where I can have a little bit of work outside of the house, but it's not a huge commitment. And I was like, maybe I can hire you to help me put palms and tags on beanies, because that's something that I don't have to do, but you know, needs to be done, especially if I have a lot of orders. So yeah, lots of things are happening. We're still just camping out in the middle of nowhere, but I'm very much thinking about business things right now because it's November and things are coming up really fast. But I'm excited to race. It's just really fun to be around. It's like a whole village has popped up right here. But I am able to get a little bit of work done too, so it's been good.
When we wake, hear the birds.
I am up next for the relay. I'm so nervous, but I have to ride 1 lap. It's 13 miles, but I've made 13 hats already. so the next hat is 14. Oh, I just finished my lap. It took me an hour and 40 minutes, which I felt pretty good about, but man, some of these people are like actually racing and going so fast. But I think for me, it was kind of this lesson in like, you know what? I'm gonna push myself, but I'm not gonna like, I can ease off the competitive side of it, which I feel like actually works really well with business as well, you know? Like you could keep pushing. Yes. Could you? Yes. Could you always be pushing harder? Yes. Do you have to? No. You can enjoy the ride, enjoy the scenery, soak it in, and still challenge yourself. So good mountain biking and business analogies here. But yeah, I'm gonna change into some dry clothes, get back to knitting, maybe have a bowl of ramen, but it's so fun. It's so nice just being out here.
What we have, let's hold on tight. Found what we're looking for in life. Call us crazy, but things are finally right.
Number 14.
You and I, the future is bright.
Yes, it did. For that long, like that was rare for me to.
You and I, we got it. We don't need no more. Even in the hard times, you and I can weather any storm.
Just changed back to 1 o'clock, so it's 2 a.m. but 1 a.m.
Cold
and
going on.
I'm on number 17. I'm about to finish 17. We're still riding. There are people out there, but more riders are about to go out. Rob's about to go out. But I'm just here knitting.
Even in the hard times, you and I can weather any storm.
Well, I've been home for about a week. We woke up to a lot of rain after like 3 hours of sleep and just drove the 9 hours home. And so Monday I was just a total puddle. And then Tuesday was election day here in the US. And let's just say I'm still processing and have been kind of depressed. Especially with all of the things that SMENI stands for. I've just been trying to navigate how to express that as a business and, you know, support my community as well and also protect my own peace. So I'm sure in the next few weeks I will have a lot more to say. But if you need a hug today, you are not alone. Like I said, it's already been a week since then, and I'm still having all the feelings and have not even wanted to film anything. So I did get 20 hats done while we were gone, and I have knit a lot more since then, just from not being able to do much else. But yeah, so thank you for coming along on this video. I'll catch you in the next one.